All right, guys, so this week we watched Thankskilling.
Thanksgiving celebration can't be complete without a viewing of Thankskilling.
So Thankskilling is a low-budget, $3,500 movie made by a couple of college kids that has definitely turned into a cult classic.
Yeah, it's a self-proclaimed cult classic on the box there. But we're here to tell you that this is the one. I would recommend checking out this.
Right? Yeah, this is a double thumbs up for us.
If you need a place to rent content, you better listen. We're Cannibal Video and we eat the competition.
All right, so here we are for spoilers. Lee, let me know. How did you feel about this spoiler-filled?
Yeah, no, it's really good. This is like what you want. I'm trying to think, like, to me there's like millions of movies that were trying and failing to do this, but I can't like think of any, I guess. Like, they're so bad. I think to your point, some of them were just trying to be good, and then at some point, either in like editing or marketing or some point, we're like, make it like it's funny how bad it is, or they're just trying actually hard to do it, right?
Or like halfway through filming a movie, you realize, oh, we're not getting where we're going to be, and we swing. Well, this one I think had that direction the whole time. They're like, okay, we're going to
I feel like there must be people who are like, let's do a homage. It'll be funny, and the thing, and like they all suck. And I'm like, stop doing that. Just make a real movie, you idiots. and this, okay, Chris Seaver, Teen Ape, like it's just a dude like in a mask. You can like see his eyes. That's so dumb. And then he starts talking, and he sounds like this because they didn't like mic him in the. I'm like, what? Like it's that next level of like, what is going on here? And there are so many things we're going to mention.
Well, and this movie has something along those lines where like you're clearly, if you have any real issues with this movie, you're not understanding that the movie is not taking itself seriously. Like there's a portion where like, hey, it's a killer turkey. And at no point does anybody ever say like, that turkey is talking, this turkey's trying to kill me. The turkey wears a little mask of the ripped off face of one of the kid's parents. And they just assume that's him.
That is my
and the fact that happens means you can't question anything that happens in this movie.
That's the moment in the movie, really, if I had to pick one, which I often do this sort of thing, where I'm like, that is emblematic to me of like the whole style of the whole thing.
Yes.
They answer the door if you've seen it, but if you haven't, right, they answer the door, and one of the kids' fathers says, "Hey, honey."
Oh, hello, sweetie.
But it's just the turkey wearing like a tiny fake version of that guy's face that looks horrible.
Yeah, and other face looking.
And she has to like crouch down to talk to him and says, "Oh, Daddy, you're so silly."
Oh, Dad, you and your rapidly fading memory.
And that's like, what is happening?
And like,
it's
what
amazing.
more would you expect from a movie that's opening shot is a zoomed-in breast?
Let's talk about that. It mentions it on the box, but I really wish I'd seen it without reading the box, because that alone, you're like 66 minutes, like novelty holiday movie. It says how bad it is all over the cover, and like credits come off, or like before the credits even, there's just like a tit, and it takes up the entire screen.
It's like barely in focus.
What is happening?
Like it's just wonderful. I'm like, what the hell is this?
And it's a whole other thing that takes place somewhere else, and that actress's name is Wanda Lust. I didn't Google this.
I caught her in the opening credits.
I assume she's a porn star.
I would say star is probably not true.
She's a porn amateur.
I think I clicked on her IMDb and she has, I think it's just was this credit. I think that was it. Yeah. And I don't know that pornography is listed on IMDb.
Well,
but
sometimes it is. So that means she's a porn star, but only does porn that's not able to be listed on IMDb, which is the highest caliber of porn star, the highest level of talent you could possibly get.
Yeah, no. There it is.
This is like an origin, like a pilgrim thing, and her tits are just out for some reason. It makes no, because they're like, we have tits, and like that whole thing.
Yeah.
But like that's the whole thing.
Go hard, boys.
If you can appreciate this on the level, not only this is funny for some reason, but it's funny because a movie would open with a girl who dies for no reason and like has her tits out.
Yes.
And that's a reference. Like everything in this movie is kind of a thing like that.
No, lots of inside stuff on this, and I enjoyed just because seeing a movie that cost $3,500 that came out this well. I'm like, oh, all right, and like is a weird thing. So if you watch this and aren't like a movie person, you might just be like, oh, like it's filmed poorly and this is that, whatever. And I'm like, a lot of that is to be expected with how I imagine quickly this got shot. It's probably like a week, maybe 2 weeks.
Well, the visual quality is low.
Yes,
right?
But that's also a product of its time,
yeah,
too. That's
but
not
like,
super indicative.
A lot of
its
the
quality.
and like the lighting is bad, and like the effects or whatever. But like a lot of the minute-to-minute editing is good. A lot of the sound, like the music's annoying, but you can hear all the characters. They're either dubbed in or like mic'd wonderfully, and like you know, sound editing not being crappy, being able to hear and make out all the stuff.
Yeah.
And their choices of how they're putting the shots together was like good.
So like the puppet, I don't think has a bottom half at all. I think it's just the top
See
of
a
a
leg
turkey.
at one point, but yeah.
During like a sex scene, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
At one point, he like scurries away from them. I think in like the kitchen or something, and like it makes the bird like moving noise, and I was also, and like totally sold what is probably just like, you know, doing this.
Oh, Jesus!
There are little elements that,
like,
it is done well for what it is.
We watched something once like Teddy Bear Massacre or something like that, where there was like a teddy bear in like the foreground of the camera's shot, so it was just like a person, and it would like turn to the camera and go, and then turn back and walk or
I
whatever.
don't remember this at all.
No? Okay.
Teddy Bear Massacre?
I would never have watched a movie like that without you involved in some way, so we'll leave that for like a later day. But it's doing that puppet thing of like, this is a real movie with humans in it or whatever, and we're not doing that awkward like Kermit the Frog, you know, on a bicycle shot where it's like, oh, don't show me a wide shot of the Muppets, right? It's always like, you know, part of him always goes off of the frame, so that's where they're controlling or doing.
But you're also, it doesn't hurt anything. You're not oh, yeah, okay, you're compromising based on your limitations. No. You never feel that.
Because they do enough different angles and different things where you're like, yes,
exactly,
this works fine.
So like the movie opens and it is not spring break like your typical movie. It is your winter break for Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving break, woohoo!
And they're treating it as if it is a spring break, like woo, Thanksgiving
Tears
break.
off his shirt.
Thanksgiving break, yes, yes.
Woo!
Yeah, you got your token characters. There's like a hillbilly.
Hey, Darren, I got a muscle you can touch.
A jock. A slut.
Thought Johnny would be thankful for my glorious movies. And now I am.
The good girl.
Shit, I forgot to call my dad.
And a nerd.
Turkeyologists all over the world
Oh, brother.
know it as Thankskilling.
Yeah.
And like that is every horror movie ever.
Literally Cabin in the Woods, like the pantheon of stereotypes. Yeah.
And like they're not necessarily star actors. I think most of them, this is their only real credit.
I poked around a little being like, who are you, who are you? And yeah, most people it was like, known for Thankskilling and Thankskilling 3 or something like that. Okay, whatever, yeah.
So like that's just that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I think not the director, somebody associated with it was the guy who ends up having like the boyfriend who comes in and gets killed from behind.
Hey, let's do it right here.
Sure. My parents are right in there.
It's okay, they're cool with it.
What, like the cinematographer or something?
Or like the director or whoever?
I don't think the director is the turkey.
Oh, the voice of the turkey, yeah.
And puppeteer.
Oh,
yeah,
multi-talented director.
Yeah, he just on set was there to do it, and they were planning on dubbing in a voice actor, but by nature of as you realize while you're filming it, is he's talking and they're over talking on each other. He's like, so they couldn't cut him out.
Is that the actual story? Wow. Neat.
So they did re-record his vocals and then add a little bit of an effect to them, but it is all still just the original guys.
Yeah, nice.
And I'm like, okay, that works.
I like it.
And the voice is actually great. Like, it totally plays.
It's really unexpected. I forget what he first says, but something happens and you're like, what?
Nice tits, bitch, I think is his first line.
Nice tits, bitch.
Nice tits, yeah, or whatever. But like the way his like delivery and the way he talks, not what I expected at all based on how the puppet looks, and I thought it was perfect.
Pink pumpkin pie.
Yeah, the first dialogue we hear in the movie is "nice tits, bitch."
Nice tits, bitch. Yeah.
And then like I think the third or fourth thing you hear is it's Thanksgiving, not Titsgiving. When Billy Bob comes out, just rips his shirt to celebrate that he's out of school for the week, and they're like, "What are you doing, Billy Bob? Going crazy or something?" He's like, "I'm hoping this is gonna get her to show hers," and then she does.
Yeah, spring break, guys. Let's get wasted.
Pull your shirt down, honey. It's Thanksgiving, not Titsgiving.
What?
I'm down, let's do this. And her friend's like, it's not spring break, like what's wrong with you? And she's like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. There's a lot of like acknowledgement of like what is happening. Some of the stranger comedic parts to me were they keep repeating this Jean-Benet Ramsey joke.
Yes.
But like
it gets repeated 3 times.
But in a way that like was killing me. It was amazing.
Oh no, it's the opposite.
What?
For me, it was like, so the first time it gets said, I'm like, all right, that was a lame kind
That's
of
a horrible joke.
Like I think my mind went like, ooh, very timely joke that will last the testament. Like
Right?
here.
Oh, please, Allie. Your legs are harder to shut than the John Benet Ramsey case.
Oh, snap.
And then
You are the weakest link, goodbye.
Then it gets said again, and I'm like, no, this is a low budget movie, and like, it could very well have been like, I thought of this joke, and it accidentally got put into 2 different parts, and they said, oh, we'll use it here. Oh, okay, we'll use it there.
Haven't you noticed? She tries that with everyone. It's like her legs are harder to shut than the John Benet Ramsey case.
Oh, shit. Dang. Damn, that was good.
Pause for a moment because the second time it gets used, they cut away and they cut back as if it's like another reaction.
Bye, guys.
Shit, that was good. It was, man. That was a good one. Oh, God.
And I almost do think they used 2 different takes of them reacting to the joke, because they always react like, that's a good one. And it seemed like it happened twice with like a gap in the middle. It was like destroying my brain. It was amazing. I'm like, what's happening here? And then the third mention.
When they get to the third time, I was like, oh, it's all on purpose, and that does make it way funnier.
At least her legs were harder to close than John Benet Ramsey's legs.
Because it's this callback to the same shitty joke, and the third time the guy fucks up the joke.
Yes, when you said it's the opposite for me, I meant Killing Me Softly.
Oh,
with his song, Killing Me Softly, with his words.
I thought you were like, these idiots.
No, Killing Me like, oh, it's so dumb. Like, I love that. Like, it's good.
The only thing that was like I thought bad in this movie was, but it's also like, yes, of course, is the very ending is like they're around the Thanksgiving Day table and the cooked turkey is the turkey.
And all other blessings. As we partake of this food, we pray for the health and strength to carry on and try to live as you would have us. This we ask in the name of Christ, our Heavenly Father.
Yeah.
And like, you can't question it because if you're questioning that, you're questioning every single thing that happens in the movie. But I just felt that part was a little slow. I didn't think the joke was bad. I thought it just.
It's weird.
It took a minute to hit.
We get to hear them saying they're like Episcopalian grace or whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's just like one of their families, right?
That's the director's family.
That's just his family. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know what's happening here. But yeah, no, it's a weird way to end. And then like the turkey's like head neck hole kind of says like sequel, bitch, and then like goes off or whatever.
Do I smell sequel? Beyond.
And it does allude to to be continued. In space.
Yeah.
Which is, we've even talked about how all these movies eventually get to space and they're going right there off the sequel.
That's another little dash. I also, with my little, it's hard on the phone to Google things, but like, it sounds like Thankskilling 3
is
the second one. Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but I
you're well versed in the Thankskilling universe.
If I remember correctly, I haven't seen it since it came out, but I remember it being something like the third movie is about the destroying of the second one or something like that. I could be totally fucking that up and mixing a different genre into it, but they do play, I think, clips of like the in space battle or something along the lines of some bullshit. Okay. Again, it's been years, and it didn't leave that much of an impact.
I would love that. I feel like that's a really efficient way to like get more jokes out. Then I even have to film that other movie, but just pick a few parts and like do that or whatever.
If I remember, I think I like the first one better than I like the second one.
Sure.
But the second one had like a million times the budget. It's like $100,000 Kickstarter or Indiegogo. I forget what it had, but it kicked up a large following.
This is a whole process. Okay, dig it.
Like that one, it was at least $100,000. It might have been over $100,000.
Yeah.
And that's something.
That is something.
Exactly. This movie also spawned a musical.
I see Johnny looking handsome as I whisper in his ear. Thanks to you, I'm not a virgin anymore.
And we are thankful
That was also in like
it
the
didn't
blurb.
last very long, and it's not online anywhere. You can see 2 minutes of it.
I was gonna say, when we say musical, we mean like that Ash versus
like
Darkness,
a
whatever, Evil Dead.
in theater,
Yeah.
like a theater, like I'm a thespian theater,
like a live.
Yeah, it was in I think
show
California and Florida had some shows of it,
Yes.
and I tried to find it, and I could only find like a little bit of the ending, and it looked like it would have been a funny thing. I couldn't find it at all.
Damn.
There's like 3 episodes of a behind the scenes show the cast made, and like I messaged them like, is there a copy of this thing? And I got no response.
Damn. Need to get an amateur local videographer.
I thought there'd be something, but
definitely
nothing.
Even
You
just a
can
big
buy the
shot.
soundtrack though off CD Baby. I think it's on Amazon.
Of the musical?
Yeah.
Wow.
They did a cast recording, yeah.
Something else I want to mention, and I have one example, but I think it happens a lot. A joke that like acknowledges like a weird. It kind of reminds me of like some of the stuff in Feeding Frenzy. There's a point where they're like driving to the one girl's house, and she's like, "That's the house right there." And he's like, "I know. I dropped you off yesterday."
And there, that's the house.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I dropped you off last night, Kristen.
Oh, right.
Like, what the fuck? And like little references where someone's like, that doesn't make any sense. Wait, what? Those like little.
There's a lot of funny lines like that.
In like response to these tropes and weird trotted out things.
There's one like, how can we possibly be the turkey? We've tried everything. And the guy goes, we haven't tried anything.
I don't know how to kill this turkey. I mean, hell, he's survived everything that we've thrown at him.
No, we haven't done anything to stop him yet.
Oh, yeah.
He says it with such conviction. Like, that's what happened to me. For like a while in this movie, I was like, this is bad though. I know you're making a joke of how bad it is, but it is bad. And I kind of turned a corner where I'm like, I think they're acting like that on purpose. I think this is actually genius. And it like changed my whole opinion of the movie.
When you see the good girl's dad for the first time, he's the sheriff, and you see him the first time, you're like, this fake mustache is so terrible.
Sheriff Round here.
And I'm like, why would they do that? And then like you know because later they're gonna put that same mustache on a little fake puppet thing that's on his face. But there's a scene in that like every movie has a thing where it's like they're like, this coffee is shitty, and he says like, damn woman, this coffee sucks. What'd you take a shit in it?
God damn, Cheryl. That coffee tastes like shit. What'd you do? Take a dump in it?
And she holds up the pot with poop in it and goes, yeah, and I want a divorce.
As a matter of fact, I sure did. I want a fucking divorce.
And then when he's on the phone with his daughter, they go through this whole conversation. He's like, by the way, your stepmother left me, toodaloo, and like hangs up the phone or whatever.
Yeah.
You're like, what is it?
Oh, by the way, your stepmama left me. Love you, bye.
Like this is something that happens to him every 3 months.
Amazing. And she goes, like, and doesn't react at all. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Little things like that are so amazing to me.
They're driving home from college, and the car starts to overheat and break down.
Yeah.
And the bimbo girl says something that made me laugh out loud, where she goes, "Oh, maybe it's a flat tire."
Oh, I know. Maybe it's a flat tire, Johnny.
The car's like on fire.
Maybe it's a flat tire. Yeah, she was amazing. And they're all like, "You're kind of a hoe." And she's like, "I'm a total prude." Like the whole thing is amazing. Like again, and like even like the good girl, how she reacts and acts to everything. This like love triangle or something. Oh, that's another one. Oh God, the like nerd guy's like, "I'm going all out on this vacation. I'm doing it. Nothing's gonna stop me. The sky's the limit. I'm having sex with one of you." And he throws out the little thing at the end with somebody in this car.
With somebody in this car.
I'm gonna go wild. I'm gonna go buck wild on this trip. I'm gonna go skinny dipping without any clothes on. I'm gonna ghost ride the whip, man. Woo! I'm gonna have sex with someone in this car.
They're all like what? Like,
and like both of the girls have been like you can't even tell are they both dating the jock guy, because it's like, not made explicitly clear at this point, but they're both clearly interested in him.
I want to unpack that so hard, because in all these movies something like that would happen. I'm losing my V card this weekend, and then you're like, the implication, like, do you think that there's other people in the woods? Who are you gonna fuck?
Yeah.
Are you gonna fuck my girlfriend? What are you talking about, Bob? Like, it's this crazy thing that no one ever talks about. That's in like 100 million movies, and here the guy's like, with one of you.
For once, you know, it's not gonna be just me by myself. I'm gonna be the one doing the sexing. Yeah, to one of you.
Well, it isn't gonna be me. I'm a prude. What?
Just like throws it out there. It's
and he has that weird like thing
his
he does
mannerism
constantly,
where he's like doing his
and
thing.
he nails it. We're like, I've definitely met a guy like that.
Well, again, like so much more that you would need to do to like sell it, and something you can do for free. That's one of your big things always is like do something. It doesn't cost any money. Have a guy go and like do that every like fucking other line.
Yes.
It's genius.
And they hit the trope of like, does anybody have any rope? He's like, yeah, I have some in my pocket. I got it at the Jeep.
Do we have any rope?
Yeah. I got some out of the Jeep. I thought it could be useful.
Okay, well, this is a start.
Does anyone have a lighter?
Yeah, I have a lighter always prepared.
Wait, do we have matches or a lighter?
Yeah, I got a lighter right here. I'm always prepared, baby.
Literally every horror movie has a moment like that where
Yeah.
it's like, well, do we have a jug from the 16th century used by blessed monks? Yeah, I got one
Of
over
course.
here. What?
Maybe it's this one. We should.
They go to that
Go ahead.
library. It's like a storage shed with like 3 books in it.
They say we should go to the library, and they go, the library's closed. My dad has plenty of books. Let's go there.
And you
they
picture
go
it's gonna be like, at least a like family's library where
Yeah.
like a bookshelf full of books.
Right.
There's like from the jump, there's no books to even be seen.
I'm sure we'll be able to find something in here.
What is it that you kids are looking for?
And there's no like
The book they use is a piece of cardboard.
They're like, oh no, my dad like loves local folklore and like weird stuff. He'll probably have a thing. There's none of that. There's just my dad has a lot of books. Let's go to my garage.
Well, like speaking of the folklore thing, you have the
yeah.
exposition guy is the nerd who just happens to find the sign from like, the first Thanksgiving on the floor. He's like, you know where we are?
Crawberg. Where have I heard that name before?
Don't you guys know the legend or whatever?
And then it cuts to an animation that's like wonderfully bad.
That animation is really, really cool.
It's
I like that
such
animation
an
a lot,
interesting
actually.
style.
Yeah.
Like it's like a flash animation
Yeah.
with a weird drawing style.
He was more evil than anything you've ever seen before. A turkey that would stop at nothing to get what he wanted to kill.
Are you kidding me?
Kind of like slidey images.
Yeah,
kind of
it
good,
does what
yeah.
it needs to do. Like there's a focus shift at one
Yeah,
point.
yeah. No, it's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That added a lot to me. He's reading that book and it has like mathematical equations in it, and he
Yes.
has to solve them or something stupid like that.
It's a mathematical code, so I think I can crack it. No, I know I can crack it.
God, I hate books.
Do you see
It's
the
amazing.
perforations, or the corrugations rather? That's
Yes.
it's literally a piece of cardboard folded over.
We'll figure this out.
You got it yet? Just hurry up.
Johnny?
It would have been absolutely as cheap to glue that piece of paper to an actual book, but they're like, nah, use cardboard.
Nah. Well, they did something to the outside of it too, right? It had a certain like look. It was meant to be like a
Well,
weird.
it's a piece of paper
like
with a
this
printout
ancient
of a
tome
book,
of whatever,
bent
yeah.
over cardboard with maybe a piece of paper folded inside to be what he's reading.
But it's all like black and red and weird and
Well,
stuff. It's meant to look
it's
like
a Photoshop of a book.
Okay, it's meant to look like a weird like old thing or whatever. Yeah, I bought it, 100%. Yeah. An ancient tome though, not like a bookie book. But you can go to
it was a book.
You can go to a thrift shop and just find any book.
Exactly.
Some of them
had
that
books.
look super old and awesome.
Sure.
Real quick there too, and this is one of the only like jokes during that whole montage of them reading and doing stuff. He like teaches Billy Bob like how to read.
Yeah.
It's this weird little insert. And then they subvert that whole thing later where it's like, we've been looking for hours. And it's like, it's been 5 minutes, guys. What are you
Yeah, it
talking
has
about?
been as long as the montage
Literally,
has been.
like as if they all happened in real time.
Yeah. We said they go on, they're on their spring break, they break down, they camp, they stumble upon where this legend is supposedly had happened. A hick in the woods and his dog accidentally awaken the turkey from his slumber, which he awakens naturally every 505 years. And they
You're
say,
reading
like,
far
which
too
is
much
in
into this.
47 minutes, but he'd already been awoken, which is also, like, I almost think was purposely written.
Right.
It's hard to say, like, because in some movies, sometimes the mistake is charming, but in this one, it feels like everything is very calculated.
Yeah.
And I don't think there were any mistakes. I think everything was intentional.
That's what I meant earlier about that reusing the like different takes or something. Everything feels intentional. So that's what like destroys my brain where I'm like, what are you doing here? Yeah, exactly. The one guy says, next you're going to tell me it's been exactly 505 years. And he's like, no, but it will be in 4. Like that weird, like this doubling up, tripling up on some of these jokes and concepts and all that stuff. Like, wonderful.
The goody two-shoe is female. She comes across the turkey in the woods, tells it to the group. They don't believe her, of course, because why would they? It's ridiculous. And then as this goes on, it's like systematically murders like their family, the friends.
So the movie's fundamentally broken up into these like 2 parts.
Yes.
It's got a whole structure, but there's the beginning in the woods, and then when they're leaving the woods, I'm like, well, you're like safe. Like, what do you mean? Like, what? The turkey's not gonna follow you back to suburbia and start killing everyone there, and it does, and it even goes to where they live before they do sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, it's this insane journey that it goes on.
No, it's fantastic because the turkey itself is not just massacring people because it's in the same room with people a couple of times without any real problem. If there's not an opportunity for a good one-liner, he's not killing you at all, and that's fantastic. And I really enjoy how the turkey does do things like it kills a guy mid-coitus just so that the blood splatter can make the girl think that there's like a premature ending of their fun.
Last that long, do you?
To when he just tags himself in.
He tags himself
and then
in?
snaps her neck.
Oh! Damn, that was good. You just got stuffed.
After a one-liner of "you just been stuffed,"
which is on the box.
Yeah,
kind of saw that one coming as a result.
That little, what did that condom say on it? It said like
gravy flavored condom?
Extra small gravy flavored condom.
An extra small gravy flavored condom. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. Responsible for turkey to use a condom.
It was.
Sending a good message to the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You just got stuffed.
I do think there's some great like dialogue between the good girl's father, the sheriff, dressed as a turkey, ready to go to the turkey ball, and our turkey dressed like a man with like what is that? The Marx Brothers glasses? What is that called?
I want to say Groucho Marx. That can't be right.
Yeah. That is right.
The big nose and the eyebrows and like, see.
So like he's there acting as if he's a friend of the daughter, but the part that like I really love is when he curses and he goes, "How do you?" He's like or it's something about like are you saying I'm too short to curse?
It's such a
It's not about the short of the blah blah because he keeps referring to him as a midget when he's a turkey.
What, midgets can't curse now?
He's and then he's referring to his age. Like, well, how old are you? And he says something like, "I'm 1,000 years old." He goes. I guess you're old enough.
Fuck it, I guess he could curse then. He's like a weird Flanders / something. Yeah. It's a whole thing, yeah.
I wasn't worried about the size of the fuck. I was worried about the age of the fuck. How old are you?
510 years old.
Fuck it then, I guess you can say.
No, he's like a gem of the B world, and I would have liked to have seen him in more things. Yeah. He has a couple of acting credits, but nothing I've heard of.
Nothing that like leaps out to you or something like that?
No. Because I think most of these are just friends and locals.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of them are actors. I don't think they had any like, oh no, I'm going to be the next big whatever. I think it was just like, I'm helping this guy out. Yeah, I do theater in town. Yeah, here I am. Like that's the vibe I get, especially based on when you look at the IMDb, you're like, okay, the 3 people that have photos are not the main cast.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when I said things were intentional, I mean like, that they're in the final cut of the movie. I think he picked people where it was like, oh, he'll be great at doing this, or he'll be great at right, and like,
No, and
I don't know if they're at like genius next level actors or whatever.
Well, it's weird because the acting isn't great,
Right.
but the dialogue wouldn't lend itself to great acting anyway,
Right.
which is not a slight on the actors or the script. It is what it is, and I think they nailed what they had to for
Right.
this movie. So I would say that would mean the script is good and the actors are good because they are doing what is on the page.
When the good girl comes back and tells them all about the like turkey, it's like such a non-joke, non-thing, but the way she delivers those lines, it was like, this is perfect bad horror movie.
Yeah, it's
I don't
camp.
know. I think he's chasing me, but I don't know, this and that. She like tries to like explain what's happening. He's right behind me, whatever. Like her delivery there, and maybe she's not an actress at all, and the guy was just like, no, you're acting too much. Just say the words. Don't act. And she was like, okay. And then that's just what happened or something. Like it's amazing.
Where's the turkey?
I don't know. He was right behind me. He was chasing me. I don't know where he went.
The hick guy,
he's an actor.
who by the end
He must be an actor.
has like a bandage over his eyes, so I wasn't sure if there was a scene that was cut that I didn't see.
Oh, okay, not okay, yeah.
Oh no, not that.
Not Billy Bob.
Not the main character, the guy who literally came from the woods.
Yes.
Who I believe is credited as General Bastard.
Really?
I think that's him.
Wow. They call him the Hermit in
Yeah.
like in the text of Thankskilling.
I
they call
believe
him the
his
Hermit.
name is General Bastard.
In real life.
I think he is credited in the credits as General Bastard.
Yes.
I can see where they can be confused.
Of course.
But yeah, that guy like has like a weird like bandana eye patch. So I was like, I think
clocked
something
that as
got,
well, yes.
I think like it got pecked out in a scene that wasn't shown or something.
Something else
I have no
happened
evidence of that. I've
in the
not seen
woods,
anything
yeah.
written that way. Just based on how it is.
He reminded me of Christopher Maloney in Wet Hot American Summer.
Sure. I love like he shoots the guy like the turkey in the face with the shotgun.
So long, suckers.
Not this time, asshole.
Oh, fuck.
When she lights it on fire, I'm like, yep, that's not an effect. That's them using spray paint and an open flame to burn the prop.
I was gonna say they probably burned the prop.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
If it's not the actual prop, it is the
prop.
same casting of the thing.
Oh, my feathers are fucking melting. Oh.
And then like hits it with a bat and it flies into the fire and one of its legs pops off.
Yes.
And like the hick guy goes like, well done. She bites it and goes, yep.
Well done, gal.
Yeah. I know.
I'm glad you mentioned that. That was amazing because watching it, you see something like pop out of the fire, but you're like, did I just see what I think I just saw? Like, what is this? What is happening here? And it turns out, like, yes, she goes, picks it up, and then begins to eat it.
Yeah, I think that is the most undersold part of the movie, and I think it could have been filmed a little better, and it would have really hammered home. Because I love the like if maybe she would have said it a little differently, like well done, I like it burnt, and like bites it or something. Because like I like the idea of directly referencing the well done as in I burned this turkey bite.
Okay.
Because he's saying well done, like good job, and I want it to be hammered home that she takes it as the turkey is well done.
Yeah.
Because that has to be how it was.
Yeah, well, that's a running theme with that character.
Yeah.
Because she is like, does she say cock or dick or something? And she's like, no, like a penis, not like like a
Not
bird.
like a turkey.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, okay.
I'm ready to see this cock burn.
You mean turkey, right?
No, I mean like a dick, not like the animal.
Yeah.
Like that's her deal. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite line?
No. Do you have a favorite line? Do I have a favorite line? I don't think so. This movie sucks.
My favorite line might be when Billy Bob's chest gets burst through and he just turns and like, gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
Gobble, gobble. It's on the box too.
It is, yeah.
Gobble, gobble, MFer.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker.
Because or there's something where he he says something and like he'd said it before and he says like bitch, but this time he's like blah 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 meanie.
I'm gonna drink your blood like cranberry sauce, meanie.
My favorite one might be the whole like, yeah, no, I dropped you off last night, like that little thing, something about that.
And there, that's the house.
Yeah, I know. I remember. I dropped you off last night, Kristen.
Oh, right.
Like, it stood out a lot, right?
It's a flat tire was pretty solid for me.
I didn't like
maybe it's a
that.
flat tire.
Oh, I know. Maybe it's a flat tire, Johnny.
That to me was like too over the top or something.
That's what did it for me. Was
Yeah.
I think it wrapped all the way back around for me because the jock who's like not portrayed as a genius goes like because look like you're dumb.
What is wrong with you?
Yeah, maybe, Allie.
Something that I would like to talk about briefly. So I talked about the movies in like 2 sections, right?
Yeah.
When they're at the campsite and stuff, pretty much until Billy Bob wakes up with turkey droppings on him or like whatever.
Am I? Then what's them turkey droppings doing on your chest, son? Oh, gross.
That whole part I was gonna compare like very directly to like Chris Seaver's work, and even talk about how like fundamentals of film, like editing, composition of stuff, the dialogue being really legible. I was gonna be like, it's amazing when you strip down a film to like what's the least we could possibly do, but you still like do it well or like whatever, right? I was gonna be like, this movie is amazing. The second half kind of it, when they leave the campground, some of those elements start to spin out a little more. It's like a little not as good there, but the humor picks up for me. And I was like, so I was like still on board. These like 2 ways of enjoying it crossed paths at around where they leave the campsite.
I do agree.
Well, it was always good.
This is clearly made by someone who has a great sense of humor and knows the genre for mockery purposes at least. Like the teepee, they pull the car right up to it. You can see that it's the size of like a garbage can. It is the smallest teepee in the world, but they go inside and it's gigantic. It's like the TARDIS.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's like TARDIS. It's like a Fraggle Rock thing. We were like, how big are these things? What's happening? Yeah, it's amazing.
Fucking
I got him! What? What turkey? Yeah! Oh my god! I'm on fire!
Even just them pulling up so close to it, and it's just in there eating a salad. It isn't like doing anything loud.
Well, that's also genius. Is that this murderous turkey who, like, you think like, oh, is he killing these people for food? Nope,
Drinking
he's
their blood.
tossing a salad.
Perfect.
Yeah.
When his little turkey arm takes the human mask off.
If that's the sheriff, then you must be Turkey. Guys!
Dear.
Come on, go quick, the turkey's here!
You kids are retarded.
Like, there's so many things in this that are so good, and you can see how this man went on to make these great things in the
attention to
future.
detail is there, right?
Yes.
He didn't accidentally hit all these points. This
was all
extremely
structured and done.
calculated.
For someone who's like 21, this is college students made this movie. It's very impressive.
Please, mister, please. I have a daughter.
In that like woo spring break like Thanksgiving break scene, like I think there might be some extras, but I may have added them in my head.
There are just
like,
people that are at college that they filmed.
Yeah.
They're on public land, they can just do that, yeah.
But like super rapidly though, it's like, oh, there's only like 4 or 5 kids ever.
Yeah.
Like there's no, like it cuts wide, you're like, oh, like there's no one else. Cause like in a movie like this, you want like at the beginning of like The Hitcher or something, you want that like the bell rings, a stampede of kids is coming out, they're like walking around our characters and like screening them here and there, so you feel like, where are you going? Everyone goes their separate ways and you're like, yeah. And like, no, it's just like 4 kids in front of a closed door and you're like, yes, we nailed it.
It's 4 kids and
the 5th kid shows up.
Well, yeah, it's 5 kids and an outlandish script that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And a fun puppet. Like, it's not great, but it's perfectly serviceable for what it's doing.
Yes.
I think it is iconic enough. It looks good.
There's no such thing as an evil turkey. Oh, wait. I lied.
all the cast essentially dies. So they
Glorious.
Yes.
They go to Valhalla.
The turkey is killed. He's thrown into a garbage can. The garbage can happens to be full of toxic waste. The toxic waste brings him back to life.
Did you love this part of it? This is one of the weaker elements to me. The turkey coming back via some like unrelated thing. It's fine.
I think you could have just had him it plays into more tropes. I think you also could have just had him come back because he didn't get fired, put ablaze, because that ultimately is how they kill him and is the way that you do kill him. But I did like that he came back. He kills the nerd by one of the only real effect shots in the movie. He bites his tongue, rips it out, and then pecks him. Shoots out, pecks at his heart, throws it. It gets a couple beats. He has the dream about Billy Bob, beckoning him to heaven.
Does he say something like, "Come on,
man.
There's no turkeys
up here.
No turkeys up here.
Come on. No turkeys up here, dude. Come on."
That whole thing with them holding hands and running around.
Now you've gone and left me. You were my friend.
My friend.
You got killed by a turkey. Who's not my friend. Not my friend.
Oh yeah, and there's a song that the director wrote.
Oh God, another one
playing through the movie. It has a lot of little elements. Our boyfriend wakes up from his little coitus potentials. Yeah.
Did they coit?
I think so. You know why I think so? Because in the 2 minutes I saw in the musical, it says I wouldn't be a virgin if it wasn't for you.
Thanks to you, I'm not a virgin anymore.
So it made me think that they had sex right there, but maybe not.
Because he is dead. I don't know. I think he's not dead. I think he survives.
Oh no, he's so dead.
I love you too.
He gets a turkey carvered into his stomach. Makes it to the shed as they flee, with him holding it in place, dragging the cord. I thought that was fantastic.
They choose to cut to the cord
a
popping
1
out
second,
of the wall.
yeah.
Gotta get out of here. Hang in there, Johnny. Don't you leave me.
That's wonderful. Little things. That's what I mean by filmmaking, where it's
I think it would have been great if he started to run and it caught him. And then it popped out. I think that would have been a little extra beat of humor. But they make it to the shed. They're going to exchange one last kiss, and he dies right before that kiss.
I think he passed out from blood loss, and Walter White, he survived. I think he's good.
I don't believe so, but we can interpret.
There's a sequel we can check, so it's
he's
probably dead. Yeah, I was saying he's not active.
I don't even think she's in the sequel.
No, there's no.
But then we explained with the fire and the burning and this and that.
Yeah, well, the radioactiveness to me was something that's one of the few things where I was like, I see why this is funny, but I'm not into it. That was one of the only things.
I agree, if only because I don't like the effect that is on him for being radioactive.
Right.
I think he looked cool, and to maybe show him just a little bit bloody and gory would have been a little bit more aesthetically pleasing.
Maybe that particular way of doing it was not the best. He should have come back. Obviously, he had to come back. Movie is over.
He has to come back. And you knew you were going to try to make a sequel regardless.
Yeah, and I think I was picturing something is it in the Jason movies? Which ones? Where lightning just strikes the grave and he's back, and you're like, what are the rules in this universe? Something like that, I think would have fit more with the rest of their tone, and the radioactiveness was a little. I'm not sure. I'd love to talk to that dude and be like, "Why that?"
Yeah, we'll see what else.
And he'll be like, "Yeah, whatever." Yeah.
Yeah, but this is certainly a thumbs up movie for me. It is just outlandish enough to be fantastic. It's short enough that if you're not even a fan of the genre, you could watch this and just be like, "Okay, I see what it was," or totally turn heel on and like this movie.
this is the one. I think any other derivative work of like it's so bad it's good, or it's funny because it's bad, or we tried to make it funny and we didn't have this, so we're going to acknowledge it. It's funny that we don't have this. Like all of those things, this is like the one. Watch this. And if you don't like this, you don't like that at all. You'll never like any of that.
The biggest problem that like movies like have for like that thing, like, if you don't like this, you're not like anything, is there are some people that are so unapproachable to something that is low budget that like they can't even get the humor, and those people sicken me. And
if anything is going to get through to them, though, it's this one. I feel like this is I would assume, maybe not, but whatever.
Terror at Blood Fart Lake, I think, is my This is what would get anybody if they don't like this, they don't like the genre.
I don't think any other I like that more than this. I think, but like I don't think any other human beings like those movies at all.
We'll have to talk about them.
I think it's just 100 horrible people who like those movies, and us. We're not horrible. 98 horrible people and us like those movies. Those are so deep and so intricate and have so many layers and weird things that I'm thinking
the layers of unapproachableness for this are things like if you go to like the Rotten Tomatoes, it has no critic reviews, and you're like, that's interesting. And I think it has like a 41 of I could totally be butchering that number because I don't remember it and didn't write it down or anything, but I'll flash it.
It looks like crap, so like it's gonna happen. People are gonna be like, this is crap or something, right? But it's so unique, it's so interesting, it's so different. I'm so glad that I watched it, that you brought this to us here as we celebrate our Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no, it's certainly a great, it could be a tradition for you and yours. Ooh. Watch this at Thanksgiving.
Show this to your family. Get grandma and the nephews in there and watch Thankskilling.
Gobble, gobble, motherfucker. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
If you want to support the show, head over to cannibalvideo.com, pick up some merch.
And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's something.
Whatever.
Fuck these motherfuckers.
Hazelnut?
Yep.
Cannibal Video has everything you need. A wide array of VHS and DVDs. We ate the competition, now it's only us. Our expert staff